A very good evening to our viewer. Thank you for joining tonight on the evening review. My name is Taiwan Jabela, your host. Tonight on the platform, we are welcoming back Lukato Martin Lukato. He is president of the National Democratic Party, NDP, which is contesting, of course, in the November 27 election. And Mr. Lukato is here to share with us his ideas and plans for the country should his party be elected to parliament. Thank you, Mr. Lukato, for making time. Welcome. Maybe first, let's talk about the trip that you took to South Africa with others. How did that come about? How did you sneak in that delegation?
Okay, thank you very much. It was an emergency trip where the Electoral Commission of Namibia, ACN, they found themselves that they were behind time when it came to the ballot of elections or printing of elections. Mm-hmm. So eventually they decided to pick up to select a certain company which is based in South Africa. Mm-hmm. Then we were invited for that emergency meeting that stakeholders with ECN should do immediately take away to South Africa. Mm-hmm. So me, I was one of the delegations to go to South Africa.
Who paid for all these parties?
Yeah, the Electoral Commission of Namibia covered all expenses, which is traveling, going back with an aeroplane, and also they covered our accommodations. What is left there, which is pending, which was not covered there, that's the SNTs.
SNT?
Yes, SNT.
Okay.
Yes.
Of course, the trip was to verify that the printing of ballots was done with integrity and that there's no suspicion, especially also because when ECN told us that they can no longer go through the traditional procurement process and that they needed to be exempted so that they can just pick a company, Namibian voters were outraged. What was your observation there eventually when you got there as a man on the ground in terms of the transparency and integrity of the process?
Yeah, first of all, let me commend the Electoral Commission of Namibia, ECN, to engage the stakeholders, political parties, representatives and the leaders. That was commendable, which I can commend them. On that regard, the company in question was not known to us. And since we were not part and parcel, they could not reveal what company is that. They only revealed it at a later stage. And then in South Africa, we discovered that the company owner admitted that previous elections, if it's not 2009 and 2014, the same company was awarded a tender to print Namibia's ballot papers. So when we were there, as stakeholders, we were 3 stakeholders there, political parties, the Namibian police, including the ECN team. So we were 3 in one. So when we came there for the first time, I observed that the printing housing of that premises was very strict. So then I also discovered that when we were allowed to enter inside, then we found that there was also a team of Madagascar team. Then their ballot papers, they were busy being printed. So in which means that the production of printing of ballot papers by that company, it is for Madagascar and Namibian. So before they started the production of printing of Namibian ballot papers, they showed us the premises inside. We observed, we saw inside, but with a limited times, minutes, or some hours, because no one was supposed to stay there. Then second day, then the printing of ballot papers started. Then when we come there for the second day, we found that the printing of ballot papers for National Assembly production were already started. We observed that process, some hours, limited hours. Then when it was done, then we were informed that time limited. So both of us, we entered in, and when times ended, all of us should left the premises, including the Namibian police. So that's what I have observed for the.
Are you comfortable with that arrangement where you just have to go in and leave, or do you wish that you wish you had been allowed to stay in and observe the actual printing?
Yeah, according to my experience as an observer with the United Nations and the other elections which I observed outside country and also within Namibia, the process was supposed every step we should be part and parcel. So what happened in South Africa, it's another way.
Yeah.
So it never happened like that, because my surprised if the political parties at ECN, when the time ended, if we could leave the premises, the Namibian policy was supposed to be there 24 hours. So they have to be in shift, so that if it's during night times, then if the political parties they are not there, the Namibian police should be there. So it never happened that.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. And by the time the ballots were transported to Namibia, those I think that time the representatives of political parties were already back in Namibia, or you flew together with the consignment?
Okay, that process, after the package of those ballot papers, we entered inside to make sure that those packages are packaged well. Then we even inspected those ballot papers or those packages. Then we were informed that they took 2 cargos. They will carry the ballot boxes to Namibia, which means that 2 police officers will campaign 1 cargo, and another cargo, it will be also accompanied by 2 police officers. Then the one should, let me say, the first plane should be for the delegations, which is political parties with ECN, will leave Joburg to Windhoek. Then immediately when we land in Windhoek or in the airport, then the second plane and the third plane or the second plane or it should also land it. So which means that yeah, that's what happened. So we landed first, and then just a few minutes also, the plane carried the ballot papers also landed. So that's what happened, and also that it's not a secret.
Yeah.
I proposed that one, that since the delegations and the ballot papers, maybe in case of the space, it will be not accommodate both. I proposed it that since I trust the Namibian policy, so Namibian police should do accompany the ballot papers. So that proposal came from me.
Okay.
Yes.
No, very good. We will talk about NDP now, but we just have to go for a very short break and then return with Martin Lukato. We are talking to Martin Lukato. He's president of the Namibia Democratic Party, NDP, ahead of the November 2024 election. Now, your party is it's been around since 2003. That's is it 21 years ago? Yeah. Tell me, Mr. Lukato, where this courage comes from, because you are always involved. First, your party is only contesting for parliament this time, or for president also?
This time, it's only for parliamentary race.
Okay.
But I was ready to contest both races.
What prevented you from?
You know, I believe in God myself. I think the delaying of the payment of the 20,000 to the Minister of Finance, it blocked me, because at that time the money was there, but the delaying of paying there.
Yeah.
Yes. So as a result of during the registrations, it's a time frame.
I get that.
Yes, I found myself that the money was not paid. It was not ready at that time.
So, but the determination was that you wanted to send for president?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yes.
What do you think makes you presidential material, Mr. Lukato?
My quality, my style, let me say, the determination, and also my vision and my leadership as a servant of the people.
Yeah.
Since the formation of the party as a servant, fighting for the better living standard of our Namibian people. So I feel that I could win, and I'm going to win these elections with more seats this year, because Namibian people, most of Namibian people now, they know what I have been fighting for them.
Yeah.
Yes, for the past years.
Yeah, and that is exactly why I want to ask you, Mr. Lukato, what do you think will be different this year? Because you've been in the game for 21 years. Your party has not won a parliamentary seat. The fortunes changed a little bit in the last local authority election, where you won one seat in the Katima Mulilo Town Council. But at the national level, you haven't made any mark. What do you think made a difference? What is the difference this time around?
I think the system currently in Namibia prevented me. What I'm saying is that, the Electoral Commission of Namibia is not independent, and it's been run by the ruling party. Ruling party, they are governing this country, And at the same time, they are running elections as they are in charge. So by appointing the commissioners they report to the sitting president, and they report to the Minister of Urban and Rural, and this report also to the Minister, to the Prime Minister. And eventually they report to the Speaker of the Parliament. Those offices, they belong to the ruling party. So as a result, for the past, since the formation of this electoral body, it's a tool and the remote control of the ruling party. So they decide what to do. So according to me, my vote, the NDP's vote has been rigged. Yes, for the past years, past elections. And also 2019, it was worse then. So 2019, I was expecting to score even 2 or 3 seats. So as a result, our votes were stolen.
Do you think, Mr. Lukato, that of all parties in the country, anyone would tamper with the votes of NDP, one of the smallest parties in the country?
It's possible. Because what I understand, what I have been observed, political parties who never come, they come from nowhere, register with ECN. They score 2 seats or 1 seat. What is that? So people, when they heard about our votes that we didn't score even a single seat, they were crying, the whole Namibian people. Yes, they were crying. What happened to our votes?
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, Mr. Lukato. You see, some of these parties that you are saying are new and they just arrived on the scene and suddenly they have a seat or 2 in parliament. There's, let's take an example of the Namibia Economic Freedom Fighters, a relatively new party, and we have seen their leaders at the forefront of some things. Michael Amshelelo is a member of that party. He's always at the forefront of some of these things. We saw last year Mr. Mukuyilongo, the party leader, also being shot with rubber bullets at Chinatown there because they went there to the picketing line. Do you think those things, I mean, in your case, what do you do? What do you do to also portray yourself as a savior of the people, especially youth unemployment? You know, you march with them. What do you do to put yourself out there?
Yeah, that's a very important question. You know, NDP, if I don't make a mistake, it's one of the top political parties in Namibia, which is fighting for the youth, fighting for the Namibian nation in the forefront. The only difference is that it differs from, let me say, the way how to fight or to lead people in activities. If you watched 2 months back or 3 months back, where I led and support the demonstrators in Katutura, where they were demanding seat of Windhoek, a lot of demands. I was part and parcel. It happened just recently. Not even a single political party was there. But NDP, me, myself, I was part and parcel. Just an example. And when we talk about fighting for the better living standard of our people countrywide, I think if there is any political parties, they become behind me. Yes.
And so if the party, Mr. Lukato, is of course again with the exception of 2020 when you was scored a seat in Katima Molilo, because let's face it, Namibian political parties, all of them, including the ruling party, have a strong tribal base. It's just how it is. We cannot deny it. In your case, because you are a man from Zambezi region, you are stationed, as a matter of fact, your headquarters, if you like, is also in the region. If you can't convince people in Zambezi that you are the man even to serve properly there at Katima Mulilo by getting at least 2 or 3 seats, what makes you think that someone in Kietmas will vote for NDP?
Okay, yeah. Politically, struggle is so difficult in any country in the world. And also political maturity, you know, the people of Caprivi, which is Zambezi region, where I heal, definitely you're 100% that I was supposed to have a strong base there since the formation of the party. But you know, the people of Zambezi or the people of Caprivi, those who were supposed to support NDP because it was formed there. The leader here from that great regime. You know, it differs from people's, you know, what I have observed in Namibia or in the world, wherever you go, definitely, whether it's in Karas, in the north, or wherever. There are 3 or 4 things which has happened within tribes. Tribalism, it affects the discrimination, favoritism, and also which we call, you know, jealousy. If you know, even from your community, if some of your family members they may be jealous of you, they cannot support you. They want you to be down. So those are factors which affect all things. So those people which the communities, other things which affect our people. If they are hungry, they are suffering, and they see a political party without resources. So they found themselves that there's no need to follow that person.
Yeah.
He don't have resources, he don't have money, he don't have food to provide to us.
Yeah.
Thinking that they thought that political, you know, political maturity is a learning thing, which can, let me say, let me take example from former Oppo, SWAPO today. SWAPO, when it started, they never have got even a needle. They fought the struggle. They started from inside Namibia. They went outside without anything. But because they see the people supported that organization,
Yeah.
then today, SWAPO today, it is now ruling this country.
Yeah, I think, I get your point, Mr. Lukato.
Yeah.
I mean, SWAPO had clear ideologies. They were fighting for a cause, which was freedom, and it was easier to rally people around that subject, especially when people are hungry for freedom and other things. That's why I think that political parties like yours ought to have something. I mean, LPM, for example, is a Landless People's Movement. Among all things, they are anchored within the land subject. When you look at parties like the Affirmative Repositioning Movement, they are also talking about land, particularly urban housing and stuff like that. So there's something that speaks to the aspirations of the people. But let me just ask you this, Mr. Lukato. You have some troubling beliefs also, especially the so-called Caprivi question, where we had secessionism, a secessionist attempt, I think in 1999. People got arrested, some people ran abroad, and there are still calls within the region by some people who want a referendum to be held to determine whether people in that region want to be an independent state or be part of Namibia. And last time I spoke to you, unless your views have changed, last time I spoke to you, we're actually in support of at least that referendum for people to determine what they want. Those are not it's a very controversial position to hold. Do you think that that affects your party also?
Not really. It does not affect my party. The reason why it does not affect, okay, let me say, if some people from Zambezi Caprivi region, they are demanding for the referendum to be held. Okay, what I believe myself, I believe that, any community, when they demand for certain things to be done, that is their democratic rights.
Yeah.
So, what I don't support myself, I don't support, let me say, which is against the law. Yes, the laws of the country or international law. So the people of Zambezi or the people of Caprivi, those who are demanding such a referendum, it does not affect the NDP.
Yeah.
It does not affect my politically.
Does it? We have 30 seconds left. Yeah. Does your party believe that, and yourself as a leader of that party, do you believe that Zambezi is part of Namibia, or do you think it's not? What is your straightforward answer to that?
I think historical background of Caprivi and Southwest Africa, history is there. Yeah. So if history is there, no one can delete it. No one can, let me say. So if Caprivi, Southwest Africa, was part and parcel of Germany, yeah, so that history, it will remain like that.
So you say yes or no? Is it part of Namibia or not?
Today is a part of Namibia.
Should it remain a part of Namibia?
Yeah, it should be, because that's why I say that politically, that's why I'm running, I have to be a president of this country. Yeah. And also to answer your question there.
Yeah, briefly.
Yes.
We run out of time.
Yeah, another question is that, in all these regions, 2019, because Namibian people, they see what I'm doing. Yeah. All 4,000 something votes, it came from other tribes of this country. Only 800 came from that particular great region of Caprivi, Zambezi.
I hear you.
That's why I say that I'm a neutral person.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Lukato, thank you very much for coming.
Okay, thank you
All
so
the
much.
best for the on the 26th.
Amen. Thank you.
We hope that after so many years of trying, that somehow there will be a breakthrough this time around.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Namibia. We appeal you to vote for the NDP on the 27th November.
Yes.
In order to make sure that I implement the NDP manifestos.
Wonderful.
Yes.
That is Martin Lukato, or Lukato Martin Lukato rather. He's president of NDP, laying out his ideas ahead of the 27th November general election. Thank you for watching.